Alright, so about to get on the road from Lefkosia to Kirania. Let's go. The ticket only cost me €2 and it's almost a 45-minute trip. Not bad at all. See, like, everything's so picturesque here. Alright, welcome to Kirania, or Kirania as the Greeks call it. So I'm properly on the Turkish side now, like deep in. I'm on the north coast and it looks totally different to southern Cyprus, I feel, especially with the language and everything. But anyway, we'll have a look around. I don't know if y'all can hear that in the background, yeah? Problem is, well, the traffic is a bit loud, but there is an azan going on. I never heard that in the south. And as you can see, like behind me there, it's a lot busier here than it feels like in Larnaca, you know? One thing I also want to point out here, like how I remember on mainland Turkey, is, you know, there's a lot of apartments. Like most Turks live in apartments as opposed to like sort of houses and stuff. And here the apartments have got a lot more floors than they have like in Larnaca, you know? Because Larnaca, mostly you've got like maybe 2-3 floors, but here you've got at least 6-7. And that's how I remember it when I lived in Turkey. So here I am in Northern Cyprus, which is the Turkish controlled part, and been to the shop and I got given this in my change, which is 5 lira. Back in the day, I've probably mentioned this in another video, that I used to live in Turkey. So when I lived in Turkey, the exchange rate at that time was about 2 lira to $1, which would have made this about $2.50 that time. $2.50 when I lived in Turkey, and this was about 7-8 years ago, that could buy me a doner kebab and a drink, like an ayran or something like that. Now, as of today, this same 5 lira can buy me a tiny Nescafe sachet. That's it. Can you imagine? Like, this has gone from being worth $2.50 to being worth about 15 cents in the space of about, I think, 7 years. That's mad inflation. I mean, imagine in our countries, yeah? Like, say in the UK, in the US, imagine, say today, or say 7 years ago, you buy a can of Coke in the shop and it costs like £1 or $1. But imagine today, that same can of Coke costs $20 or £20. That's basically what happened here. I mean, I know the exchange rate has gone up, and I know obviously slowly but surely the salaries have gone up to match it. But during the transition, and during this inflating period, it must have been very traumatic for the people going through it, living here, you know? It's just, it blows my mind, because I've been away and not been in Turkey for so long. But, you know, I've gone from, you know, in my mind, this was money before. This could get me food. This could get me a sandwich or a meal. And now this can't even get me, it can't even buy me a bar of chocolate. It's insane to me, you know? Anyway, I'm just stood on the balcony of my hostel, and it's located in a pretty nice, quiet neighborhood, quite upmarket as well. As you can see, you got quite big houses. So this is inside the hostel itself. And here's the dormitory where I'm staying, and this is my bed. Luckily I've got the lower one so I don't have to be climbing. This is up on the roof. Like whenever I did some laundry I just came up here to hang it up. And it's a pretty ambient place and you can see those mountains in the distance. So yeah, I'm just having a little bit of a walk around Kirania, yeah? And it's totally different. Even though I'm in the same country, technically, it's totally different. It's blowing my mind, all of this. In a good way though, it's weird. It feels like I've been here before, even though I never have, you know? Like, anyone who's ever been to Turkey, yeah? Tell me what you make of all this, you know? Does it not look familiar? You know, it's like I've never been here, never been in my life, I've never been to Cyprus in my life. But it just feels so familiar, like I've come to somewhere that I've been before, even though I haven't. I don't know what to make of it. I had to get a shot of that, because it's literally like the first foreign car I've seen on the whole island since I got here, you know, it's a Russian one. I'm just hoping, because I didn't realise that there's people in that car and they're not going to come and kill me. It's not like Russian mafia or anything. Like, I'm sorry, it was just purely out of curiosity. Yeah, if anyone's watching, like, it's just curiosity. I just wanted to just get it on film, you know. It's the first non-Cypriot car I've seen since I got here. I swear sometimes I think filming in weird places is going to get me in trouble one day. But look at it like this, I do it so you don't have to. So check out this shop over here, this looks kind of interesting. So they seem to have all the same stuff that you would find in a normal pound shop. So that's kind of cool. It's actually a good job I came in here because I've actually seen something I need. Hey, so it seems that it's Mr. Pound for a reason. Basically everything in there is 50 lira, which is roughly about £1.20, around that, so almost. So it's like a pound shop. And I got this. I've needed one of these because I left my stand back in the UK and I need it sometimes when I'm mounting my phone onto things. So yeah, £1.20 for that. Not bad at all. One thing I've noticed in a lot of the exchange bureaus here are the fact that they take cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Solana. This may be due to how volatile the lira is, so people want to keep their money safe so that they don't lose next time there's more inflation. See, there's another crypto place here. Now this is a place that's nostalgic for me. Like when I lived in Turkey, I used to eat here all the time. And this is known as çiğ köfte, which is a wrap with a kind of vegetarian mince made from bulgur wheat and paprika. But anyway, you've got like the wrap, and it's huge, good size. And then you've also got the ayran as well, which is like a salted yogurt drink, and it just washes it down. It goes like together amazingly. One does not go without the other, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, just things amazing. Komagene is actually a big chain all over Turkey, and it seems they've got one here. You can see the guy's got all the ingredients laid out and ready to make the wraps. And this one's coated with Doritos. And the prices are pretty reasonable as well, with a meal starting at around €3. Hey yo, that was just amazing, you know. I've not had çiğ köfte in so long. And at the same place, Komagene, like I said before, I used to come here like all the time, like maybe 3-4 times a week. And I was surprised that they have this here in Northern Cyprus as well. It's amazing, you know. Like I said, everything here just reminds me of Turkey. I just feel like I'm back in Turkey right now. To be honest, the only thing that tells me I'm not in Turkey is the side of the road everyone drives on. Şeker Bank. It literally translates into sugar bank. So I just went to a place just to look into renting a car for a few days, and it works out to about 1,500 Turkish lira, which is almost like 45 euros. So that's weird, because while I was in the south, I was led to believe that it was actually cheaper to rent cars in the north than it was in the south, but it's kind of the opposite. So it looks like, and also they haven't got any cars at the moment, so it looks like for the next few days I'm going to be on my 10 toes, I guess. Because I will admit something, getting around Cyprus, it's a little bit, I mean, to get to the main cities it's okay, but to get around and to really tour, it's kind of hard without a car, to be honest. Yeah, so here you can just sit outside, you know, you got like, it's like a shisha lounge, and it's also got coffee and all that. So I'm gonna get my caffeine fix at least. I must admit, it's a bit of a different atmosphere than it is in the south. Like, for one, I've just seen people riding on motorcycles with like no helmets and nothing like that. And obviously in the EU, yeah, you can't do that sort of thing. You'll get pulled over, big fines, probably get your bike taken off you as well. But here, things seem to be a lot more relaxed, you know? A bit like kind of in Turkey. But yeah, it's kind of cool, you know? It's a bit of a change. You know what's really funny though? You can hear the music in the background, yeah? It's a bit like sort of drill music, yeah? And you know, me living in London, yeah? It's like I've come all the way here to hear my city's music. It's kind of interesting. So after sitting in that loud place, I decided to just go for a bit of a walk, and I found this mosque. Yeah, it's so peaceful in here, and the architecture's really old. It's amazing. This would have been built in the time of the Ottomans, at the time when the Ottoman Empire ruled most of the Islamic world. Hey, so I just been to this masjid here for Maghrib prayers, you know, for the evening prayer. And it says that it was inaugurated in 1586. Wow, that's like, well, my maths ain't that good, yeah? It's almost 500 years old. Wow. Oh my days, nobody said I had to do stairs. Ah, these are steep. It was kind of cool, it adds character to the place. So anyway, the fact that there's like a masjid just down the stairs, and then you got like some trendy wine bar just here. It kind of just shows the secular character of the place, you know? But you can see it's very Turkish, you know, still very Turkish. Like, to be honest, coming down this side, I mean, how I ended up down here was I heard the azan, and I thought, oh, let me go pray just while the azan's calling. But the mosque was quite far away, so I had to sort of run for it, and it took me about half a kilometer down the road, and I wasn't really paying attention to where I was going. I was just following the sound, and then I ended up here. And you know, here it's like a little courtyard, a load of little windy streets and stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, yeah, this is definitely different to the south. I know I keep going on about how the north and south are different and all this and everything, but it kind of gives context to the whole trip, you know, because I wanted to see the contrast between the north and south. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's like, you know, it took me about an hour and a half from my hotel this morning, that was in Larnaca, to get all the way up here. And it is like a totally different country and different language, different everything, you know. It fascinates me. So I ain't gonna lie, it's been a bit of a long day actually, so I'm gonna head back to where I'm staying, you know. I could just get my head down. I mean, I've been up since, what, about 7 this morning, and it's got 8 now. Yeah, it's been a long one, and quite a long journey. Well, not that long of a journey, but still had to change 2 vehicles and all that. But anyway, I might show you guys a little bit more because I'm just walking down some main road. So down this main street right here, I'm catching some more like modern, affluent Dubai vibes, you know. I think that thing behind me right there is a casino. It's absolutely massive. And I think this is where all the people with money come to play. This street in general, you know. One more observation I wanted to make before I end this video for the night. I've noticed here, there's a lot more like migrants or like, you know, people from other countries than there is on the mainland. Like I've seen quite a lot of Indians, quite a lot of Africans, and like on the mainland, apart from in Istanbul and maybe some other massive cities, you don't really see that so much. It's usually pretty homogenous. It's just Turks, you know, apart from maybe a couple of, you know, like teachers here or there. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting observation. Like the shop I just went into, that was owned by Indians and staffed by Indians. I've never seen that on the mainland. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, like, is it easier to get a visa into northern Turkey than it is into the south? Maybe because up here isn't the EU while the south is? Maybe it could be that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, in the south, there's loads of people from other countries. Like way more than here, in fact, you know. It's like half the shops are owned by Bangladeshis, and there's quite a few Africans as well, you know, and other nationalities, Arabs. So, you know, it's not just up here that you have a lot, but it just seems interesting here that being it's practically a Turkish place, but you do see a lot more. Well, you know, in mainland Turkey, apart from like major cities like Istanbul and Ankara, a place like that, it's largely homogenous, to be honest. So, good morning from Kirania, and I had to start the day the only way I know how. So now I'm heading off to explore. Check out this market, this is legit. Only some good bargains to be had as everything is priced in lira and not euros. Yo, so I'm in the downtown of Kirania. I don't know if you can hear in the distance, yeah? Like, you can actually hear the azan here, you know? So, I'm going to try and chase that up now, because I think I'm not that far away from it. You can also see how clean the streets are here. Like, the Turks have always been renowned for beautifying the azan, you know, they've always been known for doing the best ones. I think there was a competition once to see who was the best muaddin, like caller, and I think it was a Turk that won it. So if I'm not mistaken, it's down this little alleyway. I came here last night, I believe, but you know, all these alleyways look the same, so it's a little bit hard to find. See, the struggle is real sometimes when you're hearing the call for prayer and then you gotta get to the mosque and it's pretty far, and all you can do is follow the sound until you finally reach it. Should be just round this corner. So that's those same stairs from last night. And you can see the mosque in the distance here. But what I want to do now is find the coastline and go look at the sea. I can feel the breeze of it actually. I can feel, you know, when you're near water or near the sea, you can kind of feel it in the air. It's something on your skin. I don't know what it is. But actually right in the distance, if you can see, it's like the coast is just over there. I can feel it. I can also see it just in the distance, just a bit of blue. So this on my right hand side is Kirania Castle. And down here heads to the port and the harbour. You can actually go in Kirania Castle, but I think you gotta pay a fee or something like that. But it's a really peaceful walk, like there's barely anybody here. You pretty much got the place to yourself. So yeah, I'm just down like by the harbour. It's really nice down here with loads of boats, and I think some of them are offering like trips and stuff. Don't know how much it is, but yeah, kind of touristic, you know. And if you can see behind me, out that way, if you keep going, you'll end up in Turkey. Like, I think there's a port over there, and you can get ferries direct to Mersin or like to the south coast of Turkey from here. I've seen these type of structures in Tunisia. Yeah, just while I'm sitting in this quiet spot, yeah, just enjoying the peace and scenery. Oh, except every time I try to do this and I sit in peace, there's always cars going past. That's typical anyway. But as it's slightly quiet, I just want to talk about something. You ever wonder about like the meaning of life? I mean, why we're actually here? I mean, obviously as a Muslim, it's, you know, it's about, you know, God and everything, yeah, which is true, But I mean, you know, the fact that we're here and we're on the world right now, I mean, it definitely ain't to just work and pay bills, I know that much. And, you know, you get people that literally kill themselves just to get rich. You know, they'll do anything just to get cash, just to get wealth. And then what? They die and they leave it either to family or it just goes to people who didn't even know them, you know? So, yeah, I mean, you know, how many of us actually remember our great-grandparents? I remember my grandfather, I remember my parents, but anything beyond that, who knows? And how much wealth did they leave and how did that benefit me, if that makes sense? I don't mean in a selfish way, but I just mean, you know, example, we have a load of stuff, we have a load of wealth, we've amassed a load, and then we leave it. Maybe for our kids it's all right for a while, but then about their kids, because the problem is our kids may not be happy with that wealth and want more of their own and then more of their own. But if we don't actually take time to just see somewhere nice and at least see what the world has to offer, what's the point, you know? That's literally why I travel. Right now I'm on 63 countries and I aim to do at least 100, just so I can understand things better. Because the more you travel, the more you get to see things from the outside in, you know? Because what I'm trying to get at is the fact that if you get a goldfish swimming in a bowl, he don't know that he's in a bowl. The fish don't know that they're swimming around in a fish tank and that's all they got. It's the same for us, you know, we don't know that we're trapped in something or in something until you step out of that something. And when you step out of it, you kind of see the bigger picture, you know? And that's why I love to travel, because it gives you more perspective. So this Anglican church definitely reflects the British presence that was here for many years. So now we're coming back up to the street level, and this is the main high street or drag of Kirania, and there are plenty of gold shops as well. So this is basically my last day in Kirania and thus the northern side of Cyprus for now. If anything, it's been just really relaxing. I haven't really been many places apart from the city itself, even though I must say it's kind of hard to find public transportation or anything to get around, and renting a car is way more expensive than it is in the south as well. You're talking like 50 euros a day, minimum 3 days, and I'm only here for like 2.5, so there's no point. But it's a lovely place, and you can probably hear in the background the azan from the mosque and everything. It's been a real relaxing time. I'm just here getting some Turkish coffee in the park, and yeah, it's been all right, you know. Yeah, so happy Friday, people. Jummah Mubarak. So I just came from the Jummah, and in Northern Cyprus it's a really nice day, and people are even able to pray out in the street, which is really nice as well. Alhamdulillah, there's a lot of people, like, you know, actually, the mosque is full, you know, it's really nice. So I'm now getting the transport and heading back to the south. It's been an interesting time here, and it's definitely been an eye-opener just of how different the north and south really are. But to be honest, I mean, I used to live in Turkey, so this for me feels quite familiar, you know. So I'm quite ready to go back and explore more of what the south has to offer, as it's a pretty new environment for me. But you can definitely see from the landscape that, you know, it's quite different from the south in a lot of ways. Like the flora and the fauna seems to match more of what you get in Turkey or Anatolia, while the south has more of a very Mediterranean kind of atmosphere to it. And also you can see the size of that mosque. So anyways, I'm about to leave the north side. I'm heading back to the south. So yeah, it's been interesting. And as you can see from the streets I'm in right now, I'm still in the Turkish side, and it's very evident, you know, the style of it is much different than it is on the Greek side. And as I stated before, there is no signs on either side to tell you that there is an international border. So you basically just gotta find it using your Google Maps or just follow everybody else. But the border's probably about 100 meters away. You just won't know till you get there. Basically, you see this wall and all the walls over here going that way. All this is blocked off and been painted over or whatever, but just over that wall, about 50 meters, that's the south, but you can't go there except through the official gate. And over there, that's the border. There we go. Alright people, so we are now back on European Union soil, back in the Greek side, or just basically the Republic of Cyprus. Anyway, I'm going to go find my accommodation.